guys, so I am really excited to film this video for you. This is going to be a roast of my 2021 ColourPop purchases. So it's Friday night as I'm filming this. It'll probably go up on Saturday, but I have my wine here, so hopefully you will take this in the spirit of a roast. I do obviously have kind of a festive, somewhat manic look going on with these little Rudolph ears and the gingerbread earrings. So we are fully embracing the ridiculousness and the holiday spirit in this video. So I hope you're on board for that. I had the idea to do this video because I think, especially in 2021, ColourPop really went in on those collaborations with licenses. So some of your favorite TV shows and movies and that kind of thing. So they really went hard for that, and I was kind of a sucker for some of those releases. So I thought it would be interesting to share with you what I ended up purchasing over the course of 2021. And it did really strike me the number of purchases I placed in 2021, because looking back at 2020, which admittedly was kind of a strange year, all things considered, I think I only placed 3 orders from the ColourPop website. I placed 1 order in January of 2020 for 2 lip tints, the Going Coconuts Shadow Palette and the Lucky You Kit, which was their 2020 Chinese New Year collection. So I'll show you that in a moment, but that was it for January of 2020. And then I placed 2 orders in October of 2020. I ordered the Stone Cold Fox palette in various complexion products, including like some concealers, their tinted moisturizer, that kind of thing. And then I also got a few items from their initial Hocus Pocus collection. So I just wanted to kind of go over that by way of example for how ridiculous 2021 truly was. And I don't know if it was the 2020 Hocus Pocus collection that really kind of teed them off to this potential market for all these collaborations and licenses, but they definitely kind of took off with that approach in 2021. And even going back before 2020, I placed a few orders here and there in like 2017, 2019, 2015, that kind of thing, but there weren't really like huge orders or like ordering the entire collection kind of purchases, that kind of thing. So 2021 really stood out to me, and that really kind of prompted this video. There's a part of me that hopes that 2022 is a little bit more, I guess, restrained, but we all know the pace of ColourPop releases. They just seem to be never ending. So for the sake of my wallet, I do hope that 2022 is a little bit more restrained, or at least that there are fewer licenses that I am interested in for 2022. I think Kelly Gooch put out a really interesting video about her kind of predictions for 2022, and specifically she said that she would like to see a Broadway collection from ColourPop in 2022. And if ColourPop does release a Broadway collection, then all bets are off. You know, they can take all of my money, because as you may have guessed from my channel name, I am a huge Broadway fan, so I would definitely be into that. We just saw that Pat McGrath is going to be releasing a Bridgerton collection, which I think would be something I wouldn't be surprised to see from ColourPop, but I think comparing ColourPop to Pat McGrath, it does make a little bit more sense that it does come from Pat McGrath, because I think as a UK-based black makeup artist, I think there's a little bit more overlap there between Pat McGrath and Bridgerton. And just seeing the sneak peeks of the collection, I think it looks definitely more high-end than anything that ColourPop would have done. So I'm very much looking forward to that collection. So I think that's only the second like major collaboration that Pat McGrath has done. The first one I think was the Star Wars collection, which admittedly at the time seemed to be a little bit out of kind of left field, but yeah, I'm very much on board with that collaboration, and I will definitely be picking it up. And in that vein, I did apply the Nymphette blush from Pat McGrath, which is one of the blushes that will be in the like trio of products that she's releasing as part of the Bridgerton collection. So I decided to were that for today's video. So one thing that did make it a little bit easier to purchase some of these collections is that I think in the past, or at least maybe towards the beginning of the year, they didn't allow any kind of affiliate codes or anything like that to be used on those collections. So you didn't get that like 10% off or whatever, which is not a huge amount, but it did kind of, I guess, soften the blow a little bit. So I think towards the end of the year at least, it did seem that they would allow those discount codes to be offered, like your favorite influencer might have a ColourPop code that you can use. So that was good to see. So I think that is it for kind of what I wanted to go over before the onslaught of the 2021 purchases. So let's just start at the very beginning, which is a very good place to start. So at the beginning of the year, they released their Lunar New Year collection, and this year in particular really stood out to me because it was the year of the ox, and that is my kind of Lunar New Year. So I purchased their Lippy Sticks kit, which has 3 different Lippy sticks. And it may be obvious that I do have a YouTube channel, so some of my purchasing decisions do kind of take that into account. And I do think that I filmed a video kind of going over this collection, but it was still a collection that I very much was interested in on a personal level. So I got those Lippy sticks, and then I got the Ox Steady Eye and Cheek set. So this I think is the Lucky Ox palette. And I think now you can actually just purchase this empty palette. So if you weren't interested in any of the shades in this palette, but you did want to get the actual kind of magnetic palette, you might be able to do that. I think it's like $6 or something like that. So like I said, I did film a video using these shadows. So I got this palette. I didn't feel the need to get, I think there was a second palette, and then there was also a lip mask and a dry oil. So I skipped out on those. And then I got this Lantern Fest highlighter, which I could have used today, I suppose. I did use another ColourPop highlighter, and that is the Super Shock Cheek Highlighter in Stole the Show. I tried to pull out some of my existing ColourPop products, but as you may be able to tell throughout this video, a lot of my purchases are kind of tied to a certain collection, which was probably limited edition, and there's a lot of kind of overlap in the types of product that I purchased, so I'm not sure that I necessarily have kind of a full face of just ColourPop makeup. But anyway, this is the Lantern Fest highlighter, and that is what that looks like, and of course I will link the video where I kind of went over this whole collection in the cards up above. I did want to also mention that the previous year I did purchase this little Super Shock Cheek Duo. This is the Lucky You Year of the Rat collection. So this was from 2020, and I did purchase this because my husband is the Year of the Rat. So I wanted to pick up something from that collection. So I have the Year of the Rat and the Year of the Ox, and ColourPop hasn't announced anything in terms of the Year of the Tiger, which is 2022. So I would definitely expect them to release a collection for the Year of the Tiger. Although I like tigers, I don't have any kind of special connection to the Year of the Tiger, so I'll probably forgo that collection. So yeah, so I think that was it for the Lunar New Year collection, but then I did purchase the full Animal Crossing collection. So ColourPop did put out a very nice kind of mailer box for the Animal Crossing collection, which I did hang on to. Ironically, I wasn't one of the early adopters for the Animal Crossing game. I think I bought it in April of 2020. So I wasn't kind of at the initial launch, but I definitely spent a fair bit of time playing it. So when this collection came out, I was definitely like on board for it. And I also did a video with this collection. I think I focused on the native plants and flowers for my island. So just to quickly go over what came in this collection, there were 3 duos for the Just a Tints. So these had the, I guess, pineapple and coconut, the apple and cherry, and then the peach and orange. So all the different native fruits, they have little lippy sticks for those fruits. And these are just kind of a tinted lip product. And I think they were scented differently too. So this one, for example, is I think this is the apple. It has a very kind of faint smell now, but that is the apple, just a tint. Again, I will link that video for you if you want to check it out. And then I got the Flower Tender Pressed Powder Blush. I forget what all the flowers are. So I got that blush, and then also the, what is this? Flower Power. Yeah, so this is Flower Tender, this is Flower Power. So another blush like so. And then I got the Balloon Pop Super Shock Shadow. So there was a period there where I stopped playing Animal Crossing just because, I don't know, it just kind of lost its appeal, and I'd gotten the 5-star island and everything like that. But with the most recent update, I'm definitely kind of playing it again. I haven't gotten the expansion. I put that expansion on my Christmas list, so we'll see if I get it for that. But yeah, it has the Billionaire Glitterly Obsessed, which is cute. It has a little star on it. And then there was the True Friends Pressed Powder Palettes, and these were in a set of 4. So we had the What a Hoot with Celeste and I forget what that owl's name is. Celeste is always the one that I'm looking for, so she's the one that I remember. Celeste and her brother. So if you're not a huge Animal Crossing fan, I don't think like the color stories or necessarily the ColourPop formula would necessarily stand out to you, but I think that's how ColourPop really got me in 2021, was just through these licenses, and as a collector of various things, like my husband and I collect Lego and Funko and I don't know, and that is the Isabelle little quad there. So yeah, I was definitely excited about this collection. And then they did have, I think, a sheet of stickers as part of the like full kit. So I don't think these are like anything super special, but it was nice to have that little bonus for purchasing the full kit. I'll talk a little bit more about some of those like full collection exclusive items later on. But for this collection, at least, I thought a sheet of stickers was nice and appropriate, and I was happy to get it. And again, the kind of specific Animal Crossing box was nice. This has a quote from Tom Nook on the inside that says, "I had these made especially for island residents." So yeah, I did purchase that entire collection. And then the next month in February, I did purchase the full Bambi collection. So I will quickly go over this. Again, I think I felt like a special kind of affinity for Bambi. I do like Disney, but especially with like Thumper and everything, and the April Showers song. So I am an April baby, so I just felt like a special connection to that. So like I said, I got the full collection. I got this Morning Light powder. This is the Pixie Puff highlighter. And this comes with a fun kind of puff and a little kind of, you know, loose highlighter. So it's a little bulky, but I don't know, I thought it was cute. And then I got these Oh Dear false eyelashes, and those are what I'm wearing today. I thought they went well with another kind of deer related collection that ColourPop released that you may have guessed. So I decided to wear these today. And then I got the Bambi Pressed Powder Palette. I did see that these were, I think, like in a BoxyCharm like drop shop or whatever. So I'm not sure how well this collection actually did for ColourPop. That's the thing about these collections, is that sometimes I would definitely set an alarm for when these limited edition collections would launch, so that I could log on to the ColourPop website and purchase them. More often than not, they do end up on Ulta, and sometimes you can get them like at a discount. I think there's several collections currently on the Ulta website that are discounted. So if you're not like super hard pressed to get any certain collection, it's probably best to hold off and wait for it on the Ulta website. But anyway, I got the Twitter Pated Luxe Gloss Trio, which honestly the naming and everything alone just kind of got me. I got the Flower Pressed Powder Palette. I think I remember creating a look with this. I'm not sure if it was in a video or not. So that is that little collection. Very cute. Just here in my head, like flower. And then we have the Thumper Pressed Powder Palette. I do like that these are kind of smaller palettes, so it's not quite as overwhelming in terms of getting the full collection. So that was a nice kind of more muted neutral color story, but you still had a little bit of interest with that green, I think, and some glitters. So I liked that palette. And then finally we got the Cream Gel Pencil Trio. And I'm not a huge fan of their kind of gel liner formula, but anyway, you live and learn. So that was the pencil trio. And sometimes ColourPop will give you a slight discount when you order the full collection. So sometimes in tallying up everything that I was interested in, it was just kind of more cost effective or prudent used loosely in this context, but it was just more cost effective to order the full collection. Okay, so next up in March, and this was a rare instance of me purchasing something that was just a pure kind of ColourPop release. It wasn't tied to a license or anything like that. And this is the Limoncello palette. So I think Teresa's dad might have put this on like her best of 2021 list, or at least best affordable list. I can't recall exactly what the video was, but yeah, I just really liked the look of this and like the Italian theming and the lemons and the tiling and everything like that. So I thought this would be a really fun palette to pick up. I don't think I've even like swatched this though, so maybe next summer I will break it out again. But anyway, I got the Limoncello palette. And then I also got the That's Taupe palette. And this was a palette that I'd kind of been interested in after hearing some people talk about it, and I think this was in the collection or the bundle that Ali Glines put together. So that is definitely kind of my color story. But again, I don't think even kind of swatched this or dug into it. So one day I will get around to that. I think originally we were supposed to go back to work in January, go back to the office, but I think now it's not going to be until February. So, and even then it's only going to be once a week. So I don't have as much of an excuse to kind of rotate these kind of more neutral everyday palettes. Usually when I'm filming a video, it's something kind of very specific. But anyway, I got that. And then I think to round out that order, I got the Super Shock shadows that were in the Raw Beauty Christie collab. So I got the shades Mycelium and Olympic. So I was happy to get something from the collection. Although I like Raw Beauty Christie, I didn't feel kind of compelled to pick up the original palette or the launch or anything. And that right there might explain why ColourPop is transitioning to more of these licenses, because people tend to feel, I think, a little bit more connected to those characters and feel the need to acquire those collections as opposed to just their favorite influencer. But anyway, these were pretty, and I think I saw that ColourPop is restocking that palette, the original like pressed powder palette. So if you missed out on that the first time around, you may have a second chance at it. But anyway, I got those. And then in August, so I went from March to August without purchasing anything, which was great. I got 4 of their quads from the Zodiac collection. So I got the Bold and the Aries, which is my sign. And I hadn't tried any of this kind of form factor from ColourPop before, so I was definitely curious to try it. And there's a bit of a chunk missing there from the Aries kind of embossing, but Anyway, Aries is a fire sign, so that's kind of a nice, like, basic warm palette. I just saw that they are releasing like lip glosses that are kind of in this theming or whatever, part of that collection, but I think I can forgo that. So I got the Aries palette, and I got the Sagittarius and Flight palette, which is my husband's sign. So he just had his birthday. This is more of a neutral warm palette. He's also a fire sign. And you can see the arrow embossing up at the top there. Yeah, so this is a quad I think I could get some good use out of, but I haven't actually worn it yet. And then I also got two other quads. So I got the Like a Virgo, which is what my mom and my sister-in-law are. And this just looked like a nice kind of neutral mauve-y quad. I think these were $9 each. And that's the problem with ColourPop. Like, independently, none of the products are really that expensive, but when you want to kind of pick up a lot of products and you feel like you can because they're so inexpensive, then it really starts to add up. And then I got the Capricorn quad, which is my niece's sign. Yeah, this is another kind of nice, cool-toned palette. So I think I might break this out come January, which is Capricorn season. So yeah, excited to play around with those. I think in terms of my immediate family, the only sign I didn't pick up was, I think my brother is a Pisces. I always confuse Pisces and Aquarius, but I'm pretty sure he's a Pisces. And I don't tend to reach for a lot of blue, so I decided not to kind of go for that one. Yeah, he's a Pisces. And just to quickly show you this Pisces palette, so it does have some nice neutral colors in there, but it also just has that bright blue. And in terms of a quad, one shade being kind of, you know, a shade that I won't use much, it just didn't really make a whole lot of sense to get that. So I think with that order, I also got the Act Natural mascara, which I did apply underneath my lashes. This is in black, and it did remind me a little bit of the, like, one of the Maybelline, was it Full and Soft mascaras or something like that. So it does have a nice brush to it. It's one of these kind of, not super chunky, but definitely kind of larger natural brushes. And, you know, it applied fairly well. I think my preference is still for a waterproof formula because that just tends to help my lashes stay lifted and hold the curl. But other than that, like, going on, it seems like a perfectly nice mascara. So I got that. And then also in August, ColourPop got me again with their Tinkerbell collection. So again, I did manage to film a video with this. The video I filmed was my, like, I forget what I called it, like easy last minute kind of Halloween costume ideas. So I did apply this and then wear like a green shirt and put my hair in a bun to kind of, you know, conjure up Tinkerbell, if you will. I really like the artwork on this collection, actually. So it says sprinkle a little magic. So that is what the palette looks like. I'm not like a hardcore Disney fan, but I definitely enjoy it. And I thought that was a nice, interesting palette, and I think the way that they did Tinkerbell was really kind of, I don't know, sophisticated. So I liked that. You know, they do have that kind of texture and glitter on the palette. So I think that kind of made it feel a little bit special. So I got the palette, and then I got the Super Shock Shadow Trio, and it says Believe in Fairies along the side. And then you can see, I think that's supposed to be Big Ben in the background with the three shadows. And like you can see the silhouette of Peter Pan there. So sometimes I will purchase like the set of Super Shock shadows, and sometimes I will purchase them individually just because of the way that they package them and what my preference is. So I got these two Super Shock cheeks, the shades Happy Thoughts, and this is Magic Moon. So again, I will link the video where I applied these products if you are curious. I guess there was a third Super Shock. So this was the shade Darling. And they had a really fun kind of glitter package and the printing on the actual component as well. Usually ColourPop does a pretty good job when they do these collabs. So that is part of the reason why they always seem to get us, I think. Okay, and then there were two lipsticks, I think. So there was the Clap If You Believe, which is really cute. This is a glossy lip stain. So that is what that looks like, and it has the gold silhouette of Tinkerbell on the package. And then this one is just called Tinkerbell. So that is what that shade looks like. And again, if I can find any of these items still in stock, whether at the ColourPop website or Ulta, you can probably pick them up at a pretty sizable discount at this point. So again, if you missed out, they may still be available. And then two of these cream gel pencils in the shades Lost Girl and Fly With Me. So I probably could have gone without these, but sometimes I get it into my head that I'm going to do a full video and review and everything. But the fact of the matter is that a lot of creators do get these collections in PR before they officially launch. So a lot of times it doesn't really make sense to purchase a full collection for just your average YouTuber because you'll probably be a little late to the party. So I was able to use these in a video, but if I were just purchasing these for my own kind of collector purposes, I probably could have gone without these eyeliners. Okay, so let's talk about September. So I mentioned the initial Hocus Pocus collection that they released in 2020. And then in 2021, they decided to follow up with another Hocus Pocus collection, probably because the first one did so well for them. And Kelly Gooch again pointed out that they are, I think, releasing a Hocus Pocus 2 movie in 2022. So the odds are good that they will release another Hocus Pocus collection. So I'm a little bit mixed on that future release. So initially I was pretty restrained. I decided to just get the mirror, which is the Binks character, I think, and it says, "I shall always be with you," and it does have kind of a fun holographic design on the back there, so I just thought that was a fun item to pick up. And then I also picked up the Trouble Brewing Super Shock Shadow Trio from this collection. So from the 2020 collection, I had purchased the palette, a lip kit, and the Glitterly Obsessed. So I didn't purchase the full collection from 2020, although I think aesthetically I did like that collection more. But I thought this was really fun because for these Super Shocks, I had the different kind of printing on the components. So I thought this would just be fun to have as kind of like a Halloween, you know, decor piece of makeup, what have you. So yeah, some interesting artwork on that. And the shade names for this are Forever Bewitching, Dost Thou Comprehend? I feel like I could say that fairly frequently in my everyday life. And then To Be Young and Beautiful Again. So I initially placed an order for just that, and I thought I would be content, but I went back and then I purchased the full collection because I wanted this gosh darn candle. So this was one of my big bugbears with ColourPop for 2021, and that is they released this Black Flame candle, which I think is the only item from this 2021 Hocus Pocus collection that most people cared about, and they made it so it was a full collection exclusive, at least originally. So I did end up purchasing the full collection, which I will just quickly go over. So they had this Witching Hour palette, which again, I do prefer the 2020 Hocus Pocus theming and everything. I think someone pointed out that this same artwork appeared in other like Disney Hocus Pocus items, so it's not like it was a ColourPop exclusive or anything like that. So it was the palette, another mirror, and another Super Shock trio. So that just means that I will have these extras that I haven't used or incorporated into my collection to put into my giveaway, which I'm starting to think I might do in January, just because with Vlogmas and so many creators uploading so much and doing so many giveaways, I think it might make sense just to wait till January, because I think my little giveaway would just get lost in the shuffle. So if you've been curious about the status of that giveaway, I'm starting to think I might do it in January. But anyway, there was another mirror and another Super Shock trio, that palette, and then we have the spider stamp, which initially I wasn't too into, but I did see some fun pictures on Instagram of people like incorporating it into their eyeliner. So they would have like a liquid liner and then just a little line coming down with the little spider stamp. So I thought that was kind of a cute way to use this. And then there were 3 lip creams, one for each of the sisters. So we have the Tonight We Fly, which is a very kind of dark eggplant color. We have Calming Circle, which is more of a neutral mauve, which I think is a little bit better that they went with these 3 different types of colors as opposed to the 2020 collection where it was just like 3 different shades of red, which is one reason why it made it easy to just get one lip kit from that collection. And then this is, I want to say this might be a true black. So this is Hello Boys. So that is the Sarah Jessica Parker character. So the Stupid Candle, which is the only reason I went back and purchased the full collection. I almost made a full video just dedicated to my feelings about this. So first off, they made it so it was a collection exclusive, so you had to buy the full collection, which I think was probably around $100 to get this Stupid Candle. And then secondly, they didn't say this, I don't think, on the actual like web page when you were ordering, which I went back later and looked at. They sent out an email after the fact to say that this would be shipped separately, and after I'd received my order of all the other items, I contacted them and said, you know, I'm missing this candle. And they said, oh, due to the weight constraints or whatever, it's being shipped separately. I'm like, okay, great. This candle is actually made in Vietnam. Yeah. And I think this got caught up in the like supply chain slowdown, if you will. So I think many people know that ColourPop is based in LA and they have their own kind of factories, so they make a lot of things in-house, which allows them to pump out all these collections and release so many collections fairly frequently. Their shipping is kind of slow, but that's another thing. So I think they were waiting for this collection to actually arrive from overseas. And I totally understand that, you know, a lot of companies got caught up in that kind of delay in terms of shipping and, you know, things coming in. My major thing with that is that ColourPop should have said that this is a pre-order and that it would be shipped separately at the time that people were placing their orders. So that's my major issue with that. I think it almost took like a month to get this after I had placed that initial order. So I'm not sure whether this came right before Halloween or right after, but the initial collection released, I think, at the end of September. So even for ColourPop, that is a bit extreme. Yeah, so it's really those 2 things. Making this a collection exclusive when it was the one thing that most people were interested in. And then secondly, not saying that it was a pre-order. If people are able to place the order, I think that you should have it in hand and be able to ship it out to them toot sweet. So yeah, really not happy about that. When it did eventually come, they sent this sorry we're late card, XOXO ColourPop, and they did include a kind of gratis pressed powder shadow. I have it in the shade Take the Lead. So I don't know if this was the same shade that everyone got. It's just kind of a neutral medium brown shade, matte, nothing too exciting. So it was nice that they included that, but again, it's just like, you just should have handled it differently from the start. And I think their communications, like some of the subjects and that sort of thing, should have just been a little bit more explicit, because I don't know about you, but I tend to overlook a lot of emails, especially ones that seem to be just, you know, give your feedback on your latest order, that kind of thing. I just tend to kind of skip over those. So yeah, I know a lot of people were kind of tweeting at them and replying to their Instagram posts, that kind of thing. So I hope that ColourPop has learned from this experience, but I was not really satisfied. I was pretty close to canceling that order. And that's the thing. I did want to basically recoup the money that I spent on the entire collection and not just the value of this candle, because I bought the full collection for this candle because that was the only way to get it. So I was kind of, you know, exchanging emails with customer service when I finally got the shipping notification for this candle. So again, it's kind of a moot point at this point, but I was definitely not pleased. And to add a bit of insult to injury, ColourPop did sell this candle separately, I think around Black Friday. I think it might still be on their website, and of course then there were like discount codes and stuff that were applicable to it as well. So yeah, now I have this candle. But anyway, it says, "Who dares to light the black flame candle" on it. Just to be super snotty about this as well, it's a black flame candle, but the actual flame, looks like there's some gunk on the side as well, like some wax that maybe dripped in terms of the packaging or manufacturing process. So the wax is black, but the actual flame, I haven't actually burned this yet, as you can tell. But it will just be a normal flame. Obviously ColourPop can't like alter the laws of physics and change the actual flame color. I don't know if that's possible to have a flame that burns black, you know, through some kind of chemical or whatever, but fairly certain this is just a normal wick. And the scent, it just smells like any kind of generic pumpkin spice candle that you'll get at like, not even, I guess Bath and Body Works, but even like TJ Maxx or Marshall's. Like, it's really not anything special. This, by the way, is a 8-ounce candle, and it is currently retailing on the ColourPop website for $16. It's in stock. I'm sure there are various discount codes that you can apply to that. They describe it as a sweet and spicy, warm, toasted chestnut scent. And I really do like chestnut scents generally. There was a Bath and Body Works chestnut candle that I really enjoyed. So between chestnut, like spicy chestnut, and pumpkin spice, I'm not sure what the kind of overlap is there between the scents. But yeah, I don't think this is anything super special. I mean, it's a nice scent, and I'm sure come next Halloween I will break this out and burn it. I guess I do dare to light it, at least in the future, hypothetically, but yeah. Anyway, just not happy with how ColourPop handled that, but hopefully they've learned and we can move forward. Okay, so coming on the heels of that late September Hocus Pocus release, they came out with the Nightmare Before Christmas collection, and I'm a huge fan of the movie, although it always confuses me a little bit whether to think of it as a Halloween movie or a Christmas movie, but I think they released this in late October. I think it was fairly clear that it wouldn't be kind of shipped out or it wouldn't arrive before Halloween, but the artwork and everything is kind of Christmas and theming, so, you know, there's that. So one thing they started to do with this collection is have these like ornaments, and these are supposed to be like blacklight activated or whatever. So I thought these would be really cool to display come next Halloween. So this is the Oogie Boogie lipstick. And one thing about ColourPop as well is that sometimes it's a little hard to figure out either the pricing of items or exactly what the items are before the launch. And then there's like that kind of, I don't know, adrenaline, like, I have to log on and figure out what I want to buy because in theory it could sell out, although I don't know the last time that ColourPop sold out of a limited edition collection. But anyway, that is the Oogie Boogie lipstick. And it has some fun like skull and snowflake embossing. So I'll have to figure out how to kind of hook up a black light for next Halloween. I think if I were to display these, I would make them part of like a Halloween decor as opposed to Christmas. So that is Oogie Boogie. And then I got the Sally lipstick, which again has some kind of distinct packaging, same embossing, but that is a nice kind of bright pink. And these do have like some glitter and stuff on the packaging. And then of course I got the Jack lipstick. I kept all the like bubble wrap sleeves as they came in. And if I ever have a package that I don't want to mess up, I just take my little metal spatula and kind of slide it underneath the lip there to kind of ease it out. So I think this might be a darker plastic, I'm not sure, but that is the Jack Skellington, and that I think is more of a like dark red. So again, some nice variety in colors, and it's nice when you feel like you can actually use the product and that you don't have to worry about the embossing too much. Like some eyeshadows you don't want to touch because you want to keep the embossing intact. So anyway, I got those 3 lipsticks, and then this was an example of where I purchased these Jelly Much shadows separately because I wanted to have the separate little packages. I just thought these were a little bit cuter than the like trio. Is it focusing? So this is the Shock shade, and that is what the top of that looks like, and it's like a bright magenta color. And I'll tell you in a moment what I didn't purchase because I didn't get the full collection. This is Lock. It seems to have settled. I haven't played around much with this formula. And then finally I got the Barrel. So Lock, Shock, and Barrel, and this again just had a really cute outer packaging. And I thought this might also be easier to kind of display just because it's a little shorter, it's not as like top heavy or anything like that. So that is a nice like duochrome neutral type shade. And then I got the Zero Sponge, which I probably could have done without. This one, the package was a little kind of disturbed or whatever, but I think this actual sponge does reflect in black light as well. That may be part of the reason why I got it. And then last but not least, I got the palette, which I think if anyone is gonna collect an item from one of these collections, it would probably be the palette. So yeah, so this is the Nightmare Before Christmas palette. And I do actually plan on breaking this out for an upcoming video because as you may have seen, the 2022 color of the year is, I think it's Peri Peri or something like that, and it's a periwinkle color. And this Dr. Finkelstein shade is actually described as a periwinkle. So I do plan to do a full video about different periwinkle shades, but I just thought I would call that to your attention in case you wanted to get a head start on the 2022 color of the year. It's been really interesting doing the research for that video actually, because it's interesting to me how periwinkle is interpreted by different brands and different products. Like even when a product is specifically described as periwinkle, sometimes it's more blue, sometimes it's more lavender. So anyway, so it's just interesting to see the kind of variety of periwinkle out there. And yeah, for that collection, I didn't get the full collection, so there's hope for me yet. I didn't get the Glitterly Obsessed or the liquid liners or the face crystals. Realistically, face crystals are just not something I'm going to wear, or even as a display item, they're not that cute. The liquid liners, I think there was just a black one and a white one, and those I think are shades that you can fairly easily replicate in other brands. And I don't use the Glitterly Obsessed products a whole lot. I think I did use the Hocus Pocus 2020 Glitterly Obsessed in my Tinkerbell look because I was going for like glitter on the face. But this one I think was like a purpley color, and I just didn't have like any idea in mind in terms of purchasing it. So that brings us to November and Mr. Rudolph, the man of the hour. One thing I do want to mention also, while I think of it, is that you saw that limited edition box. I was kind of hoping that they would continue to send out special boxes, at least for people that were purchasing the full collections. I think that was the only one that they did that. So I don't think they did it for like Hocus Pocus or The Nightmare Before Christmas. The box that they sent the Rudolph collection is just kind of their normal ColourPop box. I think they did have like a dedicated PR box that you could buy that maybe did have a special box and like a little flyer or something, which is kind of like, are you really going to charge people extra just to have the special box and a little like card that says what the product, I don't know. I guess it is what they were sending out to influencers and that kind of thing. And I think that that collection sold out. And I didn't get the full Rudolph collection anyway, because again, I kind of tallied it up and figured out what I was truly interested in and whether it made sense to buy the full collection, which might have had a slight discount versus just the pieces that I actually wanted. But I still ended up spending close to $100 on this Rudolph collection, which again, I hope ColourPop maybe picks some other licenses that I'm not as interested in for 2022. I will quickly go over some of the collections that they released that I was kind of tempted by, but not really, and didn't end up picking up. So for this Rudolph collection, they did bring back this kind of ornament design. So these aren't products that I was really interested in, but I just thought the actual like little packages were so cute. And could I have just printed these off the internet and just, you know, had basically the same effect? Yeah, but anyway, I got this. All right, so this is the Clarice lip mask. Very cute, but it's not something I will probably use. Yeah, it does have a nice peppermint scent, but I'm kind of not always keen on having peppermint in my lip products because it can be a tad irritating. But if you do enjoy peppermint, especially around the holidays, you might like that. I think this might be a cute little gift to give someone, especially when you can hang it on a tree. And then they also had the Rudolph Lippy Scrub, which has a similar kind of packaging here. So this one has slightly different packaging, but again, has a peppermint kind of scent to it. So yeah, so if these hadn't been in these cute little ornaments, I probably would have forgone them, but there you are. And then I got the Reindeer Games Lippy set. So I think that had both of these included. So there's the Rudolph one, which is There's Always Tomorrow, which is what I'm wearing now. Which is the red lip liner and lipstick. I think this lipstick packaging is actually pretty cute, and they have that like old school Rudolph logo on it, like the movie. And the lip liner is actually pretty nice. Also has that branding on it. And I think I like their lip liner formula more than I like their eyeliner formula. So there's that one, and I was going to just get that one, but I think Morgan Turner talked me into getting the I Think You're Cute, which is more of the nude combination. So it just looked really good on her. So I went ahead and got it. And again, this has kind of like snowflakes on it. So some nice embossing on that. So I like the idea of having a matching lip liner and lipstick. Obviously right now I'm wearing the red combination. And then I got the Holly Jolly Eye Lip and Tool set. So I think that includes everything else that I have here. So as far as the lip set, there's the Couple of Misfits Luxe Gloss Trio, which it kind of confuses my brain a little bit when you call it a couple of misfits, but there's 3 items. I don't know if there's anyone else that is thinking that way. It does have this little plastic kind of protector on it. So I love the Island of Misfit Toys and the elephant. So I did apply the, which one are you? Dolly lip gloss on top of the Rudolph. Yeah, this was another one where it just, I don't know, looked really cute, and I wanted something that kind of evoked the Island of Misfit Toys. And then of course I got the palette, and it's interesting that the palette actually has like a cutout, so this artwork actually kind of shines through in the outer packaging. So that is what the palette looks like. There's a little bit of kind of glitter and some kind of shiny parts of it. And I am wearing this today. I'm actually kind of using a more neutral combination of shades. I love the inside where it has, I guess, Clarice and Rudolph, and is it the abominable snowman on the corner? So I think today I used Eat Eat, which is that one in the crease, and then Little Buck. And I used Snowbank, which really surprised me because it really applied well and kind of foiled without having to wet my brush or anything like that. I'm looking for the remote. So I went a little crazy with the eyeliner, trying to create that kind of doe-eyed look, and obviously I had the lashes on. But yeah, that Snowbank shade I have on the outer corner, and I just applied that with a brush. I didn't use a wet brush or a finger or anything like that. The shade I have on the inner half is called North Pole. And that one I ended up going in with a finger as well because it didn't apply as kind of opaque as Snowbank did. So I wanted to kind of match that intensity. Yeah, for ColourPop, and I forget how much this retails for independently, but it seemed to have really good quality. And you can really create a variety of looks. You can go very neutral like I did. You can do a little bit more of a cranberry look. You can incorporate these greens, more purpley, burgundy, that kind of color. So I think they did a really good job with this. The only shade I would probably have added would just be a matte cream, but that's just my preference for setting a primer. And if a palette doesn't have a matte cream, I just go in with my like setting powder over a primer just to kind of make sure it's all set. So not really a deal breaker for me, but that's just one shade I look for to kind of make it a truly all-inclusive palette. But yeah, I'm definitely kind of impressed with that, and I didn't think I was going to be. I mean, I liked the color story, but as far as the quality of the shadows themselves, I wasn't expecting anything too amazing. And then the last item, of course, from this collection are these little reindeer ears. This is what the like packaging looks like. These are called hair clips. And if you did care, try and figure out which one it is here. These are really kind of lightweight and easy just to clip in. If I can take this out without totally messing up my hair, that is. Nope, wrong one. I think I'm gonna wear these on Christmas actually, because I think my little niece would get a kick out of these. And it's only gonna be like immediate family, so who cares? Yeah, they do have a little kind of Rudolph and ColourPop label on the back of one of the ears. So if you are like a true collector, or if that's important to you, there's that. I think the little bow here does kind of mimic what I think Clarice's bow is like. But before, again, ColourPop kind of actually released this collection, or before we knew like what the prices were going to be or anything like that, I was already Googling like little reindeer hair clips because I didn't want to be in the position of having to order the full collection just for these stupid reindeer clips, although I think they're really cute. I didn't think they were worth buying the full collection for. And there are lots of different options out there, like on Amazon or Macy's, or I don't know, you check your local drugstore. There are a lot of different ones out there. So I was happy to get these as part of this collection, but I definitely didn't want to have to buy the full set. I was a little worried that they were going to make them collection exclusives, but they didn't. So I didn't get the bath bomb or the body highlighter that was part of this set just because I didn't think I needed it or wanted it. And then I already showed this as part of my Black Friday haul, but I did get a couple items over the Black Friday week, whatever. And again, these are just kind of normal ColourPop releases. So I got the Lucky Penny palette, which I thought would be kind of a fun, like, St. Patrick's Day palette. They kind of released this at a weird time. It would have made more sense to bring it out around St. Patrick's Day, but anyway, I got that palette. And then I also got parts of their Roaring Hearts collection. I got 2 of their Super Shock shadow duos. I do plan on doing an upcoming video, kind of a gold and black New Year's look, so make sure to subscribe if you're interested in that. And then I also got the Roaring Hearts palette. And the good thing about these collabs is that obviously if they don't have to pay a licensing fee or anything like that, these various collections and products tend to be a little bit less expensive. So that just looked like a nice kind of 1920s Art Deco palette, and there is also a gold and black in this palette, so I wanted to compare that to the Super Shock shades. So that was it for my purchases from ColourPop in 2021. Hopefully they won't release anything before the end of the year that I just have to have. I know that they've just come out with another kind of champagne themed New Year's collection, but I think I can restrain myself from that. And I thought I would just kind of mention a few collections that did kind of catch my eye, but weren't enough for me to purchase them. One is the Mandalorian collection. So I've never actually seen the Mandalorian, but I still enjoy all the Baby Yoda kind of items that have come out, and I don't know, I love a good licensed collection, I guess. So I was still kind of tempted by, I guess, both the Baby Yoda and the later Mandalorian collection, but I haven't purchased either of those because, again, since I haven't seen the show, it would seem kind of silly to purchase those. Another one was the Powerpuff Girls collection, which I think at least recently it was on sale at Ulta, and I'm pretty sure I've seen a Powerpuff episode here and there. I like the collection, but realistically I knew that I wouldn't use it, and I didn't have a kind of deep affinity for the Powerpuff Girls, so I thought that was something I could just admire from afar. And then finally they came out with another like princess collection that had all like Super Shock shadows, and I think those were on super sale at Ulta over Black Friday, and I have purchased some like princess collections from ColourPop over the years. Like I think this was maybe their initial launch. I have 3 of these lipsticks here that I just happen to have in this drawer. I think I also have the corresponding palette, like the first one that they came out with. But again, in the end, it was just like they weren't special enough to make me want to purchase them, so I can kind of admire them from afar and not bring that kind of extra product into my life and into my makeup storage. So yeah, so that's gonna be it for my ColourPop wrap up from 2021. I don't know who is more of a clown in this instance, me or Rudolph, but stick a red nose on me. So anyway, so I hope you guys enjoyed this kind of overview of my ColourPop purchases from the past year. Let me know if you were suckered into purchasing any of the collections or if you weren't intrigued at all. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.